And I saw this on an artist named Corey Ross's Instagram, and I was like, you know what? That's going to get sold within a couple hours. I don't need to think about that. I can keep that money in my account. There are other things I got to do, bills to pay, yada, yada, yada. And it sat, and it sat. This is how I get myself into trouble. All right. So pickups, new books, new artwork that we got our hands on. Rob, you want to get us started here?
Yeah, sure. But for this one, I'm going to have to turn off the lights.
Whoa, what's when I hear that, I'm thinking other things. What's going on? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm going to turn the light back on.
Woo!
That's cool.
Now, this one, I talked about the Facebook group of sketch covers, and I came across an artist by the name of Kyle Willis. And, you know, he has a Venom fan page account, and Gorkum Demir had a bunch of real nice Venom covers that he has done. And the guy that did it, his name is Gorkum Demir. He's a Turkish artist, and he's still in Turkey, but he worked through this place called One Stop Shop in Michigan, I believe. And he was actually doing free range commissions. I don't think he's doing them anymore now, but you know, I did it in 2020. Like I said, I went down a rabbit hole in 2020, finding artists to do things for, you know, fairly decent price. But this didn't cost me much. It cost me $110, and he added the glow in the dark paint. You can see the blue all around through the hand. You can see the ice around the hands, and even the eyes glued up too, like you saw before. But this is a beautiful piece, and I want to get it graded, but I don't. You know, I'll just leave it raw. A lot of my commissions I leave raw. I just so happen to get these graded because it was opportunity presented itself and you hop on it. And secondly, the same guy that did my She-Hulk pinup with the black cat pose. You know, this is a wraparound. This is done by Andorra Sidonia. He's in Mexico. Now this one, I caught him at an awkward time in his life where his mom was really sick and, you know, running back and forth to the hospital, not getting sleep. I patiently waited for this one. This one took like a year and some change. But, you know, this is where the patience kicks in. You can just see the detail in the background. You can see the clouds, the birds. You know, he worked in the umbrella, you know, the little inscription.
Excellent piece.
He's that artist has a very Adam Hughes vibe to it.
Yeah. He did another piece. He did another piece too of Nubia, kind of in the same pose. But I appreciate the fact that, you know, he didn't do like the vertical this way. He just did he didn't do the landscape mode. He just did it as a wraparound. And I have the image on my IG, so it was very, very beautiful when he showed it. And I was like, yeah, I'm glad I ponied up the cash for that. You would stab me if I told you how much it cost, but
you don't need to tell us that. But the piece speaks for itself.
Yeah. And then I never showed these before, but I'm gonna show them now. A guy by the name of Phil Buckingham. He did a lot of zombie covers for people when Walking Dead was really popular, and I loved his style too. And I got this done in 2016. This is, if anybody knows the movie, this is the homage of The Usual Suspects. And he asked me what Harleys I wanted. I didn't like the military one with the hat. I just said, give me the Harleen Quinzel in her place. The movie one, the classic. I thought that was kind of nice. And then as a bonus, you know, I got this one done too. Adam Hughes homage, Emma Frost with the diamond, with the diamond tears. You can see the gloss.
That makes that I mean, that little detail, the diamond tears, I love it.
Yeah, it's just the subtle details that I really love. And it's like, this is that moment where you say you give the artist artistic freedom to do what they want. And I just said, like, hey, I want Adam Hughes homage. And I would love, instead of it being makeup running down her face, let it be the diamond tears. And then he was like, that's a good idea. And I was like, yeah, run with that.
Awesome. Anything else, or I'm not telling you to go dig for something. Just
no. And I showed this before, but this is done by Eric Chen. He goes by the name of Weejik. He's in Japan. He's part of the Art Germs crew. He doesn't do a lot of the con circuits, but I got this done a while ago, like 2018, I believe. Yeah, 2018. And this is a homage to Aaliyah. And, at first he was going to leave it like a gray. He was going to leave it like monochromatic, all just one color. And I said, no. You gotta give me the melanin. You can't leave that out. Give me that.
And I see it too with Aaliyah. That was the self-titled album pose.
Yes.
Yes. So when Marvel was doing their hip hop stuff, that was definitely one where I was like, you know what? They didn't do a lot of the females, so I went with Aaliyah, Beyonce. I'm not showing those tonight, but those are the ones I went for.
Very cool, Rob. Very cool. I'm gonna keep it light. I just really grabbed the two most recent sketch covers that I got. So first one up, I know everybody's still starting to come down from their Spider-Verse high, but they were riding very high at the start of the month when that movie was released. And I came out the theater, loved it like most, and I saw this on an artist named Corey Ross's Instagram, and I was like, you know what? That's going to get sold within a couple hours. I don't need to think about that. I can keep that money in my account. There are other things I got to do, bills to pay, yada, yada, yada. And it sat. This is how I get myself into trouble. It was maybe like 3 or 4 days after he put this up, and I was like, are you kidding me? Miles Morales is like the most beloved character on the globe right now, and this is sitting there. And so when I DM'd him and I found out how much he was selling it for, and I'm not going to reveal that. The artist's name is Corey Ross, very nice guy. You can reach out to him. He's from New York. When I found out that price, this thing was in the mail to me later that day.
As it should be.
I could not believe people didn't want to take this home. It is an Alex Ross homage, no relation. But there is you said like it's like a bust portrait of Peter Parker. I think that Alex Ross did. Corey took from the neck up that portion of it and made it an awesome head sketch cover. Glad to add this to the collection. The other sketch cover I picked up, this is by an artist who I was unfamiliar with. With Corey, I'd seen some of his stuff. That one, though, I had to have. But this piece is by an artist from, I believe, Mexico named Luis Calzado. Now, with him, he's actually done some pencils on some indie horror books. I think the most noteworthy one is Cult of Dracula, which I believe Source Point prints. That was optioned at one point. I mean, I haven't heard anything recently since everybody's scared about streaming and streaming is dead. But when everything was going to be on Netflix a couple of years ago, everybody was like, oh, that's going to be on Netflix. Cult of Dracula was one of those books, and he is the penciler, I believe, on that series. So this is a Marvel versus Capcom sketch cover. We have Gambit and Guile emphasized, and I love what he did with them. But what's even crazier to me, you'll see in the gray tones here in the back, Shuma Gorath. We have a host of other Marvel and Capcom favorites. When I saw Beautiful, I almost fell out of my chair. Got Beautiful Joe Morgan from Darkstalkers, Spidey, Galactus, Captain America. I mean, this thing is awesome. And again, this is one of those situations where I was all about Street Fighter 6 being released. And I saw this pop up through my eBay search list, my saved searches. And I said to myself, somebody's going to buy that. I can ignore it. And by the time it sat there for 2 days, I was just like, I guess this has to be SketchGod's, because there's no way. There's just no way. This many characters for the price that this thing was going for, I was like, you've got to be kidding me. So, yeah, I am now Mr. Calzada fan, because this is awesome. This is a great example of the magic you can get with sketch covers.
I am 175% jealous. I want you to see my face. Look right here. Look right here. I am jealous as a Street Fighter fan and as a video game fighting fan. That one it hits all the buttons for me. Only person missing on that book is Chun-Li, and that's If she was on there, I would have been like, you know what? I'll trade you a couple of these. You're like, let me get that.
I'm with you. The Chun-Li would have been great. It's the more obscure Capcom characters like Beautiful Joe.
Beautiful Joe's a definitely compilation. I would have been like, if I would have saw it, I would have been like, bye.
Yeah, Beautiful Joe made me say, yeah, that has to be mine. If Bionic Commando was on this, I would have bought it even sooner. But very, very cool sketch cover. Glad to pick it up. P.O.C.A, anything recent you want to show off? I mean, that John the Jr. book is gorgeous.
I just want to say, I wish Marvel released a miniseries with those characters of Marvel versus Capcom. I think it would make big money. Get a blank cover for the first issue. Do whatever characters you want. I think it'd make great money. I know they did like 1 month a few years ago where it was a variant cover, but that's as far as I've seen in terms of like the Marvel versus Capcom characters. So.
Yeah, they had a series of variants, like you said, that they did when well, I guess Marvel versus Capcom. I don't think they called it 4, but it was the PS4 one.
Yeah,
that was
no. They did it was Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. They did a one book, one shot that came out with the game, and it has Ultron with all the gems on the front. And that's the first time Ultron has all the Infinity Gems on his chest. So that book's important. But that's the only one shot they put out. It came out with the game, and that was it. They have
they did
another
though.
They did.
Yes, they had like a variant month. I know I have the Strider Gamora one that Edwin Wang from Udon. But
I got those.
You have most of the set, or?
Yeah, I have the Black Panther and Ryu. I have Gamora and the Strider. I have Dante. Was it Dante and Punisher? I think it was. Who was on the front? But I know I have a number of them.
Yeah, I haven't been able to complete that set. So when people talk about variant sets, that's one of those that is probably under the radar, and I may edit out of this. So we have a chance.
Yeah, so nobody knows.
but yeah, it was cool. But I agree with what P.O.C.A said. Given how big Marvel versus Capcom was, they didn't do enough. Didn't really capitalize on the way they should have, in my opinion.
Yeah, Street Fighter 6 fix. There you go.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Now, he's not sketching anything right now, other than what he wants to draw, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I heard. He's somebody else who's had some Instagram.
Nice. Who did this again?
Omar Dugan, Canadian artist. He did a lot of things for Street Fighter, but now he's freelance. He does whatever the hell he wants versus anything else. But you want to see Beautiful? That one right there.
Yeah.
The best storm version I've ever seen. That's literally what that is.
He is very, very talented. If you followed SketchGod FDC at Instagram. I had him up at Sketch Royalty, and I regularly posted his stuff. One of the big misses, I would say, for me as somebody who collects sketch covers, I was never able to get, one of his sketch cover originals. But Rob, talking about timing, he's somebody who was in early and has an awesome set of Omar Dugan original covers.
Yeah, but I caught on to him. I was actually chasing down Rob Porter when he was doing the Street Fighter covers, like the Chun-Li, Nicki Minaj homage.
Right.
I was hunting him down to see how much his commissions were. And looking for him, I stumbled upon Omar Dugan. And around that time, he only had like 1,400 followers or something. I was talking to him back and forth. I created the relationship, and I was checking up on him because I think he was in college or something, getting his degree in something. And, he was like, "Hey, man, so who's your favorite character?" I was like, "Storm, just first and foremost." And then he was like, "I always wanted to draw her." And then I got that beauty right there. And that one made me pull stuff off the wall. Now this one is my pride and joy. This one never comes down. Just to lay out. Now, he did me the service of sending it to CGC. He doesn't do that for everybody. But this one, I had it done. He did it in 2020, Black Lives Matter. And, the way he articulated the gold, I tell you what, I looked at this thing probably 17 times to figure out, like, man, how do I color like that? And this is by far, I will put this up against anybody else's Storm. And I was like, this one is top notch.
Yeah, with marker art, you can't, it's very hard to get that kind of in detail.
And he's on IG?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to have to look him up then.
Omar Dugan, 1976.
Wow.
And I don't even know how many followers he's at now. I mean, it's over a million.
697,000.
My bad. So well on his way to a million.
Wow.
Yeah. He says it's probably a bunch of bots, but I was like, but as much as we bring you up, it's destined to happen.
Everybody doesn't get that much bot attention. So there's still plenty of fans in there. But if you're
he's got a new one in me. That's really nice stuff, man.
Yes.
That's another one right there too. He did the Storm and that one at the same time. Vixen.
And you got a She-Hulk of his, right?
Yeah, that one's in a box. I'm not throwing that out. This is the Vixen.
Oh, that's nice. You see, without playing that character,
I could see that. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like even down to like how he did the necklace, subtle, make it look like latex. And the CGC, I don't know how you messed that up, but we're not gonna talk about that.
Yeah. Now, your Storm cover doesn't have an X-Men special label, right?
No, it does. They did it on both. And that's why they say if you do it, separate them so these run at one time. But I was like, really? X-Men? Justice League of America? Okay.
They were like, I guess Storm's with the Justice League now. They didn't even get the different publishers right. Oh man. CGC. Gotta love them.
Quality control, people.
Sometimes it's lacking. But yeah, I mean, those are some pickups for folks to acknowledge, or as we're calling it, new arrivals. So thanks for taking a look at that, folks. And at this point, is there anything else you guys want to mention or talk about?
I can show you my stuff.
Didn't know you were ready. Okay, let's do this.
Oh, I got a few pieces. I don't know if you want me to. They're right behind me. So the latest one I got, Dan Moore is a new up-and-coming artist, and he's got a new rep, and this is from his new series that's been out for over a year, Batman, Superman, World's Finest. And so you'll see the Man of Steel, Superman. You've got, I believe that is Aqualad, because these are Teen Titans, Robin, and down here you've got Roy Harper, Speedy. I don't know what the storyline is because I'm waiting until it's all collected so I can read it in one shot. The art is amazing. It's written by fan favorite Mark Waid, who always delivers when it comes to storylines. And so rather than buy per issue, because I know I'd go crazy waiting, I'd rather wait a certain amount of time, get it in one collection, and read it. But yeah, this is from issue 9, page 13 of the series. So I got that from him through his rep.
And let me say, Dan Moore is definitely somebody to watch. I've had
he's an up and comer. Yeah, right now CGC has a signing for him where you get your book signed, but he's also doing some remarks as well as some budget shot commissions.
Yeah, headshots.
Yeah, for like the first 15 or 20 people, something like that. They're limiting those, but first come, first serve. So if you want to do that, get on it ASAP. I'm not going to do that just because it's like,
yeah, no, that speaks for itself. Yeah. you don't need a headshot
like that. That's the next best thing would be to get a commission from him, either at a convention or through CGC. Preferably convention because it's easier, to deal with the artists. You get to see them. You can see them do the work, take photos with them. They're very nice people. So yeah, great artist, huge up and comer. Let me see. So the second one I showed earlier, but I didn't show to the crew here. Out on TV one. This is a Alan Davis pencil of Batman on Justice League of America blank CGC.
Cool.
And so the reason I picked this up is because he is out in England, this artist, Alan Davis. And so it is rare that he comes stateside. But he is going to be showing up at Terrificon next month at the end of July. And I'll be there for 2 of the 3-day event. I'll be there Saturday and Sunday. And so my goal is to get another commission from him. This one I bought through eBay, but I'd like to get something from him. I'm thinking of getting Captain America and
beautiful
on a blank because right now he's doing Avengers miniseries with Paul Levitz. And so with this piece, I'll probably take a picture with him with the piece, but I also want to get it inked by one of the inkers that are showing up to the convention. Mark Farmer is the inker, but he's not going to be at the convention. So there are a number of other inkers that will be there that I'm considering when it comes to inking this particular piece before I resubmit it to CGC for encapsulation.
I'll say though, I mean, the pencils are talking to me. I mean, that looks gorgeous as is, but I could see with the right inker working on it, it'll just stand out that much more.
And that's the thing. Sometimes it's like, do I chance it or leave it as is? And that's everyone's, whoever is in that position, they have to make that decision for themselves. But it's like, I'm weighing my options. Part of me wants to get it inked. Other part of me is like, don't mess it up. It is what it is. It's got a great grade.
As an art teacher, I'm going to say it out loud.
Yeah.
Wait for his actual inker to do it. If you wait for him to show up, then crack it. Just so you know it's done right. Just wait for him. This is like you said, we all know about patience here. We waited years for stuff. Let that little bee build on that one.
I know that the inker will sometimes take inking commissions, which is cool. My issue is when is that opportunity again, and can he submit on my behalf to CGC? Because I want to clean that. The only thing. Otherwise, the goal is to get like another piece from him because his art is not easy to come by. If you try to look for his X pages, they're astronomical, so it's out of my price range. So this is the next best thing. if you're a fan of his artwork and you want to get a piece from him, ideally see him in person, because if you go through art reps, they mark them up 3 to 4 times.
Absolutely.
So that piece right now that you saw would be $200. That's what he's charging currently in 2023 for a pencil piece. Some people might say that's a lot. To some, sure, and others, it's not. It's a matter of realizing you hardly see the person on the sketch, not sketch, at conventions. These artists are not getting any younger, so you want to get them while they're around. And you know, you want to say thank you for the artwork. You know, they do some amazing work, and he's done quite a few good runs in terms of bits here of Captain America, X-Men. He's mainly known for Excalibur.
I was gonna say Excalibur is what I associate Alan Davis with. Yeah.
And he also did JLA The Nail, which is a miniseries. Not a what if, but Elseworlds miniseries that he did. That was so well liked that they did a sequel to it. I think it was called Another Nail. Of all the time. I think. I
love DC editorial. More nails.
Talk about horrible marketing.
Yeah. Okay. So this is another piece. Again, I'm of the opinion if you can't get an original piece of artwork that's published, don't fret. You can see if they have preliminaries, and a lot of artists will make preliminaries of the artwork they're going to make prior to. So this particular piece is in 2 pages. So this is the first one. His name is Felipe Massafera. This is for Deathstroke Inc. Couple prelims. So you'll see that he's working out placement of the arms for the character. So some prelims are very loose and not as detailed. In this particular case, he adds quite a bit of detail. It's reminiscent of how Alex Ross works when it comes to his pieces. He'll have an idea, he'll sketch it out on an 8.5 by 11 piece like this, and eventually he'll blow it up so he can start painting. And there might be changes here and there, but in general, you know, this is exactly what you'll see. And then there are on the other side is this other piece. You'll see 2 headshots, Deathstroke, you know, without the mask. Then you have another piece right here, a little more detailed, related to the character of Deathstroke, signed and dated. So I got this. So Comic Art Fans is a website for comic art fans, and there are a number of dealers that work with the owner of the site. The owner's name is Bill Cox, and sometimes what they will do is they'll do shows on YouTube similar to this one, but they're more related to sales. They're actually actively selling art. Some art dealers will do a blowout sale where if you're interested in a piece, and let's say you don't want to pay full price for that piece, you can offer them a price, and that they may or may not take, or they'll counter offer. So that was one of the situations with this one. I always wanted this. No one had picked it up. His painted art quite a bit up there. This was from Ramita Man, who is a art dealer in the comic book art world, and he sells some of the pieces for a lot of money, which I do not have. So this is the next best thing, but I didn't want to pay the amount that he was offering at the time. So I offered one offer, and then he brought it up another $50, and I said, yeah, sure. So yeah, 2 pieces of artwork for that price. But again, small price compared to the painted artwork I cannot get, but I love it.
Yeah, you got my face all in the camera looking like, man, Massafera, he's on my list, man. He's on my list.
Your best bet, he's hard. It's like I've heard people get like pay him for commissions and they don't get them. Others actually get I don't know what the story is. I you know, I can only go by what I'm reading. I would like to commission something from him, but again, anytime a rep is involved, that brings up the price of quite a bit. So you have to.
But you know what though? I'll say this. Once again I was on Facebook and I got a hold of him directly. I missed the storm commission he did at the preliminary. I missed it by like maybe 10 minutes, and the preliminary was like 250. And this is before he did the commissions for exclusives and stuff. And I was hot.
Yeah.
Oh, I was hot. But I missed it by 10 minutes, and I was like, man, I would have bought that. But Massafera is on my list.
He's been on my radar. I've never been in a position where I saw something of his that was in a price range that made sense to me. But it was one of those deals where I was thinking to myself, you know what? That might be part of a trade situation that I could arrange with someone where, you know, I wouldn't have to shell out that much cash. But very talented artists, and it's awesome that you have preliminaries of his. Very, very cool.
His artwork's very reminiscent of Alex Ross. He's very up and coming, but he's really, really good. Like he's done already in terms of for both Marvel and DC. So.
I give him a cross between Ross and Adam Hughes softness, like the softer, like he's a breed between them two. If I had to give him some kind of context,
yeah, I agree.
I could see that. I also see he tends to not shy away from action. Not saying that Alex Ross does, but Alex Ross is very much about the heroic pose.
Stoic poses, yeah.
I've seen Massafera do more where it feels like it could work in the context of actual sequential, you know, like as part of storytelling that's happening in the comic.
He's able to tell. Cool. Yeah, there's some artists that are better at showing movement than others, and he's one of those artists.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A foreign artist. You hear that? Foreign artist.
Oh man.
So
you have one more for us, man?
One more. This piece is gonna get signed by Ron Garney. Talking about foreign. This came from Italy. I don't know how it got to Italy, but a friend of mine on Facebook, who knows I'm a big Captain America fan, specifically for Ron Garney, said that I like the piece. And he's dealt with this dealer before, so this was my first time dealing with an Italian art dealer overseas, but very professional. At the price range that at the price he was selling it for, I had to do installment payments. He was very patient, so I paid monthly, and once done, he delivered this piece to me. So this is Ron Garney worked on Captain America with Mark Waid. Then they got off it because for 12 issues, someone else was doing the series. I think it was Rob Liefeld. They did a maxi series for 12 issues.
Is it Heroes Reborn?
Yes, that's correct. And then after they brought back the team to do Captain America again, and it was doing so well that they created a new title called Captain America Soldier of Liberty, or Sentinel of Liberty, excuse me.
Sentinel of Liberty, yeah.
And these would be stories that took place in Captain America's past throughout the years that were never told in the other titles. And so that was a book that Mark Waid and Ron Garney worked on for a number of issues together. And this is just one of those pages that they worked on. This takes place in the past involving Captain America, Human Torch that's not lit up yet, and the Submariner running away from a group of, you can hardly see it, but they're on the edges here, an army of Human Torches. And so you're wondering what the hell happened. So what happened was it takes place a mix of Atlantis, and it involves Nazis, and Nazis trying to make an army of Human Torches. And so it's
okay. So this is the invaders. With the invaders team, yeah.
Going up against an army of Human Torches, yeah. So really like the layout, like the inking. Wasn't sure who inked it. There were two inkers labeled on the comic. One was Klaus Johnson, and I think the other might have been Dan Green. I could be wrong. I got to look at the cover again, but I don't know who inked it. I'm kind of leaning towards Jansen just because it's got a heavier look in terms of the blacks are like like really thick in terms of the borders, in terms of the character details, you know. So I could be wrong, but I will be asking Ron Garney when I see him next month who inked it. That way I know.
My
Sure. So I'm gonna
my
have
money's on Jansen because I have a Black Panther page he did, and it looks like Jansen. I'll give Jansen. My money's on Jansen.
I think so too. Yeah, especially with this face. That's
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
So yeah, that's pretty much my artwork. The goal is to
I'm
get
jealous of.
some of that artwork to get signed by the creators.
My jealous face.
And Polka's just like, that's some of my artwork. You know, publish Ron Garney from the
I've been
inked by Claudia
extremely
Jensen. It's just another pickup. Awesome, man. Awesome stuff. Listen, this has been a lot of fun. You know, it's a little unfortunate that Cuevaaa couldn't join us. I know he wanted to, but life happens. Same thing with Charles Dyer. For those of you who are subscribed, which all of you should be, make sure you like and subscribe this video. Charles, his collector profile should be up, and you'll see that he also loves original art. But when it comes to his comic sketch covers, man, this guy has a collection. He wanted to be here tonight, but make sure you check out his collector profile. I'm sure he will join us in the near future. Gentlemen, any parting words? Anything else? Or
One of One is a club to be in. You want to join? Get you a one of one. Forget the variance. Forget the ratios.
Yeah.
Forget the performance. You want that one that no one else can have.
I mean, foil covers are nice and all, but I mean, with the amount of money that you're charging for a foil cover, if you save a few of those foil cover money, you can actually get an original piece of artwork that will be in your collection that you will love and happily share with fellow comic enthusiasts like myself and the gentleman I'm speaking with today. It's why we do what we do. We love the artwork. We're admirers of the artists' stories that they create with the writers, and we just love the medium. And so we hope you do too, which is why you should be watching. And I want to thank you for inviting me to this show today.
oh, of course, both of you. It's been a pleasure. All I'm going to say is when it comes to the one of one show, I mean, I like seeing what other people present on their YouTube channels. I am a fan of comics in general and comic art in general. But when it comes to comic art in particular, I know that what they're showing, if I don't listen to them and I don't watch them, I'm not going to see it anywhere else. So again, with the one of one show, you're really getting a glimpse into private collections that otherwise it's just not going to happen unless you tune in and you check out what these gentlemen are presenting. Thank you for joining us. It's just the beginning. Until next time. You two hang out, though.